All right, good morning, boys and girls. Happy Monday. I hope you had a good weekend, a nice and relaxed weekend. I've got some of your energy back to continue these next 5 days of learning. So today is Monday, April 13th, and it is NTI Instruction Day 16. And so we're going to keep moving on with Module 6, Lesson 5, okay? And I'm actually going to teach with a page today, so if you want to make some notes in your notebook, this is going to be Lesson 5. Your learn for today is going to be from this page. And so it's not anything super new. The only thing that we're adding today is talking about if we use 2 points to make a line on the coordinate plane. And so I'm just going to follow these directions. I'm going to do this page, and I'm going to do the problem set, and then I'll let you do the rest by yourself. So it says, use the coordinate plane to answer the questions. A says, use a straight edge. That just means like a ruler or a piece of paper that can help you draw a straight line. But we can actually use the grid line, so you don't have to actually use a straight edge to construct a line that goes through points A and B. And so I'm going to construct a line that goes through points A and G. I'm just going to follow the directions. I'm going to make those points a little bit bigger so it kind of shows them going through. The point was a little off, okay? And then it says label the line G, and that's a lowercase g, and we've talked about how we want to label our lines. So again, nothing new there. We have 2 points on the line A and B, which you already know how to do, and the only thing we've done is we've constructed a line to go through 2 points, okay? So what they're going to ask us now is, these are the 2 words that we want to focus on today, is parallel and perpendicular. Now the best part about this is in Module 5, we talked about both of those words. We also talked about them during online learning, during field testing. So remember, parallel is when 2 line segments will not intersect. They are equidistant. So if this was 3 centimeters apart, this is 3 centimeters apart, they would never end up intersecting. Perpendicular, we talked about, is whenever they will intersect to form right angles. So we have parallel here and perpendicular. So if you want to write those down as a reminder, now is the time, okay? And remember, you can write all these notes down in your notebook, okay? So it says line G is parallel to which axis? So if we look at line G, it is either parallel to the x-axis or the y. What do you think? I was about to say, who can tell me, like we're in the classroom. What do you guys think? Line G is parallel to the, and you are correct, it is the x-axis. And then it says, and is perpendicular, because it is parallel to the x, because if the x-axis and the line G continued, they would not intersect. Now, that means that it's perpendicular to the y, because if this line continued right here, it would intersect this y-axis and the line G to form right angles. So it is perpendicular to the y, okay? And then you just have, like, they just kind of keep going a little bit, draw 2 more points on line G. Name them C and D. So I can actually pick. So I'm just going to put C here, and then I'll just put D down here, okay? And it says give the coordinates of each point below. Now, we know how to do this. So we always start at the origin. We're going to travel on the x-axis first, so we're going to point A first. So we're going to go over to the A, and that's going to be 4. If we notice, we're counting by ones here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we can go up those sides too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So for point A, we're going over. We're on the x-coordinate of 4 and a y-coordinate of 8. So 4, 8. We want to use our parentheses and our comma. Point B, start at the origin, travel on the x. We have an x-coordinate of 9 and a y-coordinate of 8. Oh, you might already be noticing something. What do you notice about these 2 coordinates? Let's look at coordinate C. So we'll have point C. X, start at the origin. X coordinate is 6. Going up the y all the way to 8 again. What are you noticing, students? Let's look at point D. What do you notice about all three of these quadrants? Look at point D. We're going to travel on the x-coordinate all the way to 11, x-coordinate of 11, up the y to, you guessed it again. And that's when it asks you, what do all of the points on line G have in common? What do you guys think? Yes, the points all have and we want to say a y-coordinate of 8. Yes, absolutely. So this little f, this letter F, is kind of like a little fun challenge question. It says, give the coordinates of another point that would fall on line G. So first, let's talk about this. If it's going to fall on line G, what did we say it had to have? Yes, it has to have a y-coordinate of 8, right? So we already know that. That's the best part. We already know that the 8, that's going to have to be the 8. If it's going to fall on this line, it has to have a y-coordinate of 8. They want the x-coordinate greater than 25. Can anyone give me a number greater than 25? Yes, exactly. There are tons of numbers greater than 25. You could write 26 here, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 30. You could write 100. You could write 1,000, comma 8. You could write 1,000,000, comma 8. And guess what? It would fall on that line if our grid were to continue off the page. Pretty cool, huh? All right. So that's really it for today. They just kind of threw in a couple things. But I'm going to let you practice on the problem set. So those of you who have Google Classroom and you don't have this page, I would like for you to sort of pause the video, see if you can sort of read through these questions and answer them based on the grid, based on our coordinate plane over here, our coordinate system, the grid. And then those of you who have this paper at home who do not have Google Classroom, you go ahead and pause the video and try to solve on your own as well. Okay, so go ahead and pause, see if you can answer some of these questions. Okay? All right, so now that you've had a chance to try, I'm going to go over the answers with you. So letter A says, use a straight edge to construct a line that goes through points A and B. Label the line, and that's an E. So I'm going to follow my directions. I'm going to construct a line that goes through points A and B, and I'm going to label the line E. So letter A is done. Letter B says, line E. I'm going to make sure I label. They don't have those labeled. I'm not happy with that, but okay. So it says line E is parallel to which axis? Line E is parallel. Can you remember what parallel meant? Parallel meant that they will not intersect. So if I keep going this way, am I going to intersect with the Y? I am, so I don't want to do that. Parallel means they won't. So the answer was the x-axis, right? And is perpendicular, remember, forms those right angles down there. The E line is perpendicular to the Y, because if it were to keep going, it would create right angles. Yes, very good. It says, plot 2 more points on line E. Name them C and D. So we sort of just did this, didn't we? C and D. Okay. All right, it says, give the coordinates of each point below. So point A's coordinates, it looks like they're counting by ones again. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So give the coordinates of each point below. So point A, we're going to start at the origin of 0, travel on the X, and we end up with an X coordinate of 3 up to a Y coordinate of 4. Check your work. Letter B. Start at the origin, x-axis has an x coordinate of letter B. Point B is 11. And then up the y-axis would be the 4 again. Uh-oh, what are you guys starting to notice? When we have a line parallel to the x, what are the same? What are you already noticing? Keep it in mind. Let's see if we're correct. Point C, start at the origin, travel on the x-axis. Looks like point C is at the 5. And up to the y-axis at the 4. Uh-oh, it's starting to be true. All right, let's look at letter D. So point D, travel on the, start at the origin, travel on the x-axis. We have an x coordinate of 8 up to a y coordinate of 4. What do we notice? What do all of the points have in common? That's right. the points, oops, all have a y coordinate of 4. And then it says, give the coordinates of another point that would fall on line E with an x coordinate greater than 15. Well, first and foremost, if it's going to fall on that line, what do we know it has to have? What did we just say? The points have to have a y coordinate of 4. That's right. So no matter what, we have to have a 4 there. They want our x coordinate, this right here, to be greater than 15. Who knows a number greater than 15? That's right. You better all be raising your hands. We could put 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Well, I'm about to be 36 years old on April 5th, so I just turned 36, excuse me. This is past tense. And so I am 36 years old, so I'm going to put 36, 4. As long as this coordinate has a y coordinate of 4, it will fall on that line, okay? All right, so you guys are ready for Lesson 5 exit ticket. Those of you on Google Classroom, you're going to be doing Lesson 5 exit ticket Google form. Make sure you complete and submit, and then you're done. And then those of you at home, you have the paper copy, Lesson 5 exit ticket to complete and put back in your NTI folder. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.